So, an ADHD diagnosis can be scary if you don't understand it. But if Olympians, award-winning musicians, comedians, top-ranked actors and actresses can conquer the world in their own respect with the same diagnoses, we want you to be confident that with a little help, your child can too. What is up, y'all? My name is Devin and welcome to the Don't Be Pressed page, where we talk about all things learning development and mental wellness. In today's video, I'm going to do my best to give you a background, understanding, foundation of ADHD so you can have a little bit better of an understanding of how your child may be seeing the world. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It's actually a neurodevelopmental disorder. Translation: it is a disorder that affects your pattern of behavior stemmed from the nervous system, which includes the brain and how it develops. So ADHD is a disruption of brain development. To give you an even more clear visual, this is a comparison side by side of a normal brain and a brain with ADHD. You can see that the brain with ADHD just looks like it's so much more stimulated. There's a lot more going on, and this is something that children and anyone with ADHD cannot help. So this is really important because in my experience, time and time again, people just think their kids are bad. They think their kids are not disciplined. They yell at them, they punish them when it's not really warranted all the time. And I hate that because the matter of the fact is elements that come with ADHD is something that they just can't help. Just like how tall they will grow, or what shoe size they will wear, or like allergies they will have, like they can't help it. So there are two hormones in the brain that have been shown to significantly affect ADHD. The first is dopamine. You might have heard of it, I don't know. But it's a chemical that released into your body helps us regulate our emotions. So it plays a huge role in our mood, motivation, attention, learning, and cognition. So it's super duper important. Children with ADHD have very, very low levels of dopamine in their systems. So something that they literally don't have control over. It's just like how their body is. So they have trouble staying focused and being alert and paying attention because of this low level of dopamine. The second hormone is norepinephrine. And norepinephrine is known as a stress hormone that is released when the brain perceives a stressful event has occurred. So it affects how the brain pays attention. This is also very low in children with ADHD, and it hinders concentration ability. With low levels in both of these, you can see how ADHD can affect your child. We have a complete fact sheet, activities, resources, guides, everything on our Etsy shop that's linked below. That discusses more about ADHD in children. If you'd like to check it out, it's super helpful and we highly recommend it. It is also important to note that in addition to other risk factors like environmental circumstances, including like lead and toxin exposure, ADHD is largely hereditary. So if one or both of the parents have been diagnosed, it's more likely for the child to also be diagnosed with it as well. That's why you'll hear me preach over and over again on this channel how important it is to get a good grasp on the things that are going on learning and developmental and brain related things, so good practices can be passed down amongst generations, especially us in the Black community. Don't remain ignorant to things that are going on in our bodies, and then these huge scary things become less of a deal. So most symptoms of ADHD are noticeable in children before the age of 12. So children experience low self-esteem. They can struggle in school with making friends and their schoolwork. They may also appear to not be listening to you when spoken to directly, have trouble focusing on things, and are easily distracted. Some experience like lots of fidgeting and squirming and twitching, and they interrupt someone when they're speaking. Remember what's going on in their brain and that they cannot help it. So give a little grace. Now in part 2, Morgan is going to get into parenting a child with ADHD, treatment, activities, and resources that are definitely worthwhile, definitely worth checking out. It's linked down below, along with all resources from this video, as well as our ADHD fact sheet that I discussed earlier that gives exclusive activities and tips on the topic as well. Let us know down below what other topics you want us to do. Nevertheless, don't be pressed. Deuces.